everybody, welcome to the Pony Cast. Here we are on a pirate boat on the ocean with some other ponies. We are also ponies. Everyone's a pony. Oh no, I had the most terrible nightmare last night.
Oh no.
A nightmare that
we didn't get any more patreon.com/ponycast money.
No! Oh no!
Oh no!
What a miserable thing, the worst thing that could have ever happened.
but luckily, in real life, we do have a patreon.com/ponycast with people pledging all the time. That means it's cool, that means you should do it as well. We got a $5 bonus episode, which we're gonna make shortly, at some point before the end of the month, I don't know. And we're gonna $5 bonus episodes, and $25 you can be on the boat. There's all our crew. There's still space.
And speaking of nightmares, Princess Luna is a character on the hit cartoon show My Little Pony, and this episode was about her. How's that for a fucking segue?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't just about Luna. It was about Luna.
Luna and Celestia. This is there hasn't been a Celestia episode ever, really, and
it's a long time coming, and I'm really glad that it's done, quite well in this. They did. She feels like even though she was supposed to be a god, and then she wasn't really a god. She was just sort of like a guy.
Yeah.
Now she's we can see that she's a human pony being.
Yeah, I mentioned in one of the earlier pony casts this season that it was kind of a weird push and pull where they can't decide whether Celestia is omnipotent or whether she's a plot device or a character. And I guess in this episode they finally went all the way one or the other and said, let's just make her a character. Let's give her fears and anxieties, and it worked really well. And this was a really fun episode to watch. It was great finally seeing all these different sides of Celestia and of Luna. This was a jam-packed episode. It felt like there was so much stuff going on in just the brief time. It was, same length as every other episode, but it felt like all kinds of stuff happened. It was a big, it felt like one of those big episodes. It felt like the kind of episode like the one where the Cutie Mark Crusaders got their cutie marks. It felt like a big event almost. This episode's finally happening.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason they finally decided that was because Twilight is now a princess, and it's very obvious that she is not like a demigod or anything. She's just a powerful pony. So they've decided, okay, if Twilight's just going to be a normal person but with superpowers, and then maybe Starlight Glimmer might become one in the future, I don't know, then it makes sense that for the rest of them to be like that, especially since Cadence has already kind of been a normal character, despite being an alicorn. And now she's got a baby as an alicorn. So alicorns don't mean shit anymore, but that's okay. I like Celeste. I like that bit when Starlight confronted the two of them, and she dropped all all our royal graces, and she was like, "Excuse me, what the fuck did you just say to me? You implying that there's a problem here?" That was great.
Celestia got she was very uppity in this episode. She had a lot of really great bitch moments. Yes,
especially the bitch is the right word. The in the nightmare later, that I coined the term in my head. Sunburned bitch, but apparently that's not what she's called.
Oh yeah,
Nightmare Moon and Sunburned bitch is what I'm calling her now.
Bitch. So the plot of this episode is really one of the most cliche, I guess you'd call, plots in all of fiction. You've seen this in every TV show ever made. It's, your job isn't so hard. I could do your job, and you couldn't do my job, and we're gonna switch places, and then we learn a valuable lesson at the end that everyone's life is shit, and that life is just shit. Period. So that was with this episode, but with Celestia and Luna. Starlight gets called on a mission from the friendship map to the castle. Celestia and Luna, turns out they're fighting. They're not getting along, and so she gets mad, and she switches their cutie marks, and she gives them each other's job for a day, and it goes exactly how you're expecting it to go from there. They can't do each other's job. Their jobs are both really hard. They both learn a valuable lesson. There's a big cool fight. It ends up in the end of the episode. There's a big battle going on in like Starlight's dream, and we get introduced to the coolest character in the history of the new best pony, the coolest possible character who could ever exist. I wish that she was real and not just in this dream scenario. I wish this would really happen. The Nightmare Moon-esque version of Celestia. Celestia gone bad.
Sunburned bitch.
Sunburned bitch. Daybreaker, she called herself in the show. Daybreaker. Cool name. Cool design. Cool attitude. God, she was such a bitch. She was so, like, joyously mean.
Yeah, I mean, we'd all thought about it. Like, what happens when Celestia goes evil? Could she go evil? Well, now we know. We don't know whether this is like ever what she would actually look like if she turned evil, but it's very cool, and I hope it comes back in some form. It's cool to just see a character, even if in fake, in this fake pony show, you know, just to see them go complete apeshit and all their truest feelings come through, even though it's Starlight's interpretation of what Celestia would actually be like.
It was so cool just to see, like, just the power set alone, because you look at what Nightmare
how she
Moon
turned
does.
into a sun.
Yeah,
she
like
just like burns everything in a huge orb. That was
yeah,
cool.
like Nightmare Moon's theme is that, you know, she's Nightmare Moon. She's dark and black and inky black sadness. Everything's dark and spooky. She just does spooky shit, I guess. So then you try to think, well, what would a dark evil Celestia version be like? Would that be dark and spooky? No, it's fucking bright, and she's like the Phoenix from X-Men. She just wants to fucking burn everything. She wants to watch the world burn. It's the coolest thing ever. She just wants to burn people alive. That's it. She wants to supernova the whole fucking world. It's cool, and she's really happy about it. She wants to toast the planet like a fucking marshmallow. It's the coolest thing I ever seen.
I can't remember exactly which season the animation sort of stepped up to the point where stuff like this was more normal, like a huge action scene like this. But this is like, it's nice to see that it's just an episode, and they put all this animation into it, this big fight scene with all these flashy effects, and it's just, you know, it's not like a season ending. It doesn't need to be like a huge deal. It's just like a really cool, well-made, like little sequence in a normal episode. I like that. I like seeing, like, over the course of the entire show, like the animation has just gone steadily up.
Yeah. So the reason this whole scenario is happening is because, you know, in the midst of Celestia and Luna utterly failing at each other's jobs and realizing how hard it is to be each other and fulfill that role, in the midst of all this, Starlight is freaking out because she's worried that she's going to fail this really important friendship mission, the first mission that she's ever had from the map, and possibly the most important friendship mission that there ever was, because everything's riding on this. If the two princesses can't get along, then we could have another Nightmare Moon situation. We could have a Daybreaker situation. You know, God willing, I hope so someday. I hope that's what. I hope that's the last episode. I hope the series finale of this show is just like all the princesses become evil, and they all become like an evil. That's like a League of Doom, and they destroy the world, and that's it. That's how it ends.
That's one of the things I always wanted to see. I wanted to see like a big epic, like Good, Bad, and the Ugly showdown with like Twilight and Celestia, Luna, and Cadence, and all these people, all these superpowers that are like, you know what, you called me names, and I don't like you anymore, and I'm gonna kill you, and I have the power to do it. I was like, oh no, you don't, and you know, it's gonna be like, I don't know. I just have this idea in my head of just them over a stupid petty thing destroying the world because they're super beings and they just don't realize it. They can't control it because they're dumb.
I love them. I love them all. I love evil.
I wanted to talk about the whole thing with Luna and Celestia. Every time Luna comes in, she's really tired. Every time Celestia goes to bed, she doesn't speak to Luna. It's sort of It's a thing that I'm very well aware of because I live in a whole different time zone. I live over across the pond. Not in my pony form, But I can empathize for somebody who lives in, say, a place called England, and they have friends in America. Just some names I'm throwing out there, just made up places, and the time zones are different, and it's annoying. I hate it when I'm awake and everyone else is asleep, and that sucks. And I very much what's the word? Empathize?
Yeah.
That's not the word. I feel what Luna is.
Yeah, I really loved Luna being, like, the crankiest, bitchiest possible not a morning person ever, because she's a night girl, a night boy girl. Yeah, that's me, because that's what I get on that weird schedule where I am up all night and I go to bed in the morning, and I'll shuffle up into the upstairs part. I'll shuffle up into the house in the morning, exactly like Luna in this episode, and I'm just like, don't fucking look at me, don't talk to me, goddammit. And some people will come around, hey, good morning, everyone's awake now, the day is starting, and I'll just be like, don't touch me, don't touch me!
Yeah.
Eating a fucking banana peel and throwing away the banana. That was great.
That was good.
Celestia's making pancakes. Luna doesn't give a shit about her stupid pancakes.
I really like the voice acting and the way she said, hey. It's like as curt as possible, like, eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
There was a lot of range from the voice actors, especially of Celestia, that we don't normally get to see. There was a lot of different inflections in this episode. We got to hear her being angry and bitter and sarcastic and just kind of like smug and condescending. All this wide array, this wide spectrum of negative emotions that you don't usually see, because she's usually, oh, I'm the princess and I'm perfect,
smiling all
here
the time
to solve the problems. Yeah, but now we got to see that facade crumble a little bit and see that she's just as tired of everyone's shit as everyone is.
Is it Nicole Oliver does Celestia's voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tabitha St. Germain does Luna's voice. I know my facts and my figures. Over on the Pony Cast, we do statistics all the time.
We've got the scientists. We've got a whole crew of people, a whole crew of ponies. I'm sure one of them knows how to do a science.
Maybe. Perhaps.
I mean, they've all got pretty specific skills. Maybe none of them know how to do anything.
Oh, the nightmare Luna was having.
Oh
with
yeah,
the
that's
kids.
what I was gonna say. Because the whole reason they were fighting the Daybreaker thing was because Starlight was freaking out about not being able to accomplish this task, and so she was having a nightmare, and that's what was the catalyst to Celestia having to, learn how tough Luna's job is by having to fight a big scary nightmare monster. So that was Starlight's nightmare, but we finally got to see, like, what Luna dreams about, which is interesting enough on its own. Like, what would the Lord of Dreams dream about herself?
Like,
which was cool.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it. Like, you could never see the dream of Luna because a dream episode would have Luna in it.
Yeah, not only did we get to see what Luna dreams about, we got to see, like, what Luna's nightmares are like. So what kind of things are in a Luna nightmare? Well, apparently the scariest fucking shit that you could. It was fucking. It was legitimately, like, eerie and unsettling. She did, like, the kids chanting and the teeth falling out. That was like
the teeth falling out was gross.
Oh,
that
sent
like oh
god,
that
sent a shiver up my spine. That was like ugh. That, like, legitimately made me a little bit cringy or uncomfortable. Like, oh my. Ugh. Because I've had dreams like that where your teeth fall out and your hair falls out and your fucking eyeballs come out of your skull and roll out of your mouth like fucking Beetlejuice face, man.
But it was kind of funny because I felt like the chant was like it was humorous in a way, that there was like, that smile is not real.
Oh yeah.
It's obvious. Oh wait, no, the smile is too wide. It's obviously not real. It's just a weird way to
it didn't even
say
rhyme.
it.
Stupid kids. Stupid dream kids.
But yeah, the kids are fucking terrifying. And if you think about it, Nightmare Moon, or Luna rather, she's been dealing with nightmares forever. And then this one night where she's asleep, she doesn't have her power anymore. She can't stop the nightmare for the first time in like 1,000 years.
Whoa, that's true. That's like the first time that she's ever been defenseless in a dream, probably.
Yeah, it's like, whoa. The implications.
Yeah, and like these kids are like grilling her because earlier during the day when she was doing Celestia's job, she made a bunch of mistakes. She fucked up. She's not that good at smiling. She's not very sociable. She's very she kind of has like a social anxiety. She's not good at with people because she's a night girl. So she's messing up. She like ruins a kid's picture. It's like in the paper like Luna hates kids because she didn't smile for a picture, so they don't get to go on their field trip, and she's feeling guilty about it. So, you know, she's like, the kids are like yelling at her, they're chanting at her in her dream that she's a fuck up, and she's like trying to explain to the kids, like, she starts trying to talk, and then her teeth start falling out, and she can't talk because it's spooky.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's similar to like the sort of dreams Fluttershy has, who is also a social anxiety freak, who doesn't know how to talk to anyone.
Holy shit!
It's the same sort of shit.
How about fucking Applejack's parents in this episode? Did you catch that?
Wait, I think I saw Applejack for a brief moment. I didn't see any parent
It was just like for 1 second, but in that scene where Celestia is getting ready to do Luna's job.
I saw a baby Applejack.
She's going into the dreams. She's seeing like these little bubbles come down, and all the bubbles have like, you know, the pony's dreams. Like there's a Fluttershy. She's dreaming of like riding a giant angel. There's like a Pinkie Pie is dreaming of like surfing on top of a flying gummy. And one of the little dream orbs was baby Applejack being like nestled in the arms of parents. You didn't see their faces, but I mean, she was being cradled within arms like a baby. So that was really cool, and really like that's what Applejack dreams about. She dreams about her parents. How about that? That's really nice.
That is nice. I wonder if Applejack doesn't know what they look like, and which is why they're not in the dream. Like, you can't see their faces. She dreams about being held sometimes. Like, she kind of remembers that.
Oh, that's really sad. Like, she wakes up and she remembers this warm, comfortable feeling of having been held in her dream, but she never remember what they looked like. She can never remember the faces. Oh God, the pathos.
Oh God, this episode's like, it's got too many layers of good shit. It's too good. We have to destroy it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What even? What else? What else was there? Twilight was like a ballerina in a little.
Oh yeah,
music
Twilight
box?
was fucking completely insane as usual. Oh, that was another thing I was going to talk about. The way that Starlight Glimmer is the perfect pony to do this, because the way she approaches problems is so different from Twilight, which is refreshing. I think I've mentioned this slightly like earlier podcasts, but Starlight Glimmer as a new like main character is nicely different from the way Twilight would handle a problem, due to the way she's so forceful and forward about things.
She's very emotionally driven. Like that was a big sort of a plot point, was she was second guessing the fact that she had gone with her gut, as opposed to, because Twilight would just like make a list and try to think her way through the problem, which in her own way is just as flawed. But Starlight doesn't always think about what she's doing. She has this habit of emotionally blowing up and accidentally causing a big crazy spell to happen, which is like a reoccurring character trait, it seems like.
Yeah, I really like that is a reoccurring character trait. I would not like her to be like Twilight 2, and she isn't, and it's good. She's not like a complete what do you call Twilight's thing? Obsessive compulsive.
Oh yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah, she's more almost like like an everyman, like even more so than Twilight.
I don't think Twilight was ever supposed to be an everyman. She was kind of insane the whole time.
Yeah,
and Applejack was the normal one.
Oh yeah, I think I've actually made that point before. I can't even remember. Fucking this show, this good old show, the best show of all time, better than 100 Breaking Bads.
Yes. Well, that was the episode. I think we talked about everything.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, my favorite episode this season so far.
Yeah, I would say so as well. It's got a lot of that stuff that's great. And Celestia is now a real character, and I actually really like her. There's like a hint of it in the first episode, where she was like, "Oh, I was scared about sending Twilight to Ponyville," But now she's like, oh, I see. I mean, it does play into a lot of what the fandom has attributed to her, but it's pretty obvious that that's what her character would be like anyway.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sister rivalry, you know?
Yeah.
It's very... yeah.
What a good episode. And I can't wait for the real birth of my Lord and Savior, Daybreaker, to come and cleanse away the sins of pony kind in sweet baptizing flame.
To begin the Age of Fire.
Yes.
End the Age of Ponies. End the Age of Harmony, or whatever it is at the moment. That'll be good. This is canon Dark Souls lore. Gwyn was a pony the whole time.
It was Dark Souls. It takes place in Equestria. The whole time it was a sequel, a far off sequel to the fucking Pony Saga. This is actual canon. It's confirmed.
Yeah.
Great. Daybreaker burned the world and yeah.
Oh yeah, and Spike would grow up to be Seath.
Oh my
Spike
god,
the dragon.
he did!
Spike the Scaleless.
Oh, he betrayed his own kind because he fucking loves ponies too much. I knew it.
Yeah, and also he's a little baby boy.
He's a little bitch.
Random making up of lore is great. I like that. We should do a whole episode of just randomly making up lore.
That'd be a sweet bonus episode.
It would be.
A bullshit lore episode. Everybody,
yeah.
Patreon pledge to the Ponycast. Patreon.com/Ponycast. Give us $5. You can listen to bonus episodes.
$5 or more will get you access to bonus episodes and also to vote on what sort of bonus episodes, because there's so many different things we could talk about.
The shilling will never stop.
Never ever stop.
Stuff. I need all the stuff and money. Well,
yes.
Everybody, goodbye.
Goodbye. That's the end.